Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing great today in this end of February. I did film quite a lot of live snippets this month, and I was trying to figure out the best way to put it all together in a way that felt exciting, adding a bit more of a narrative element to it. And also, I guess the biggest change for me this month was that I really wanted to get back to drawing and to loosen up more. So I did spend less time in my hobonichi, like decorating and writing. I did mention in my previous video that I felt less inspired to stay creative with my pages every day. It felt kind of redundant and automatic. And so for me, a small break from that felt kind of needed. I didn't want to just do it because I have to. This is still a hobby, so I want to keep having fun with it, And if I'm not anymore, then what's really the point of it? So for now, I'm mostly just writing in my hobonichi without really adding much more to that, and that's okay. I'm allowing myself to be creative in another way this month. What I did actually was taking one of the many new sketchbooks that I own and started a tiny sketchbook journal. And let me tell you, I love drawing in this tiny book every day. It is a passport-size Muji Blank sketchbook and doesn't have a huge amount of pages, which feels less overwhelming when starting it. I knew that it would take me less than a month to finish it if I were to draw one spread a day. And one spread is super quick. Like literally, the size of the sketchbook feels so comfortable. I've always preferred smaller pocket-sized sketchbooks over A4 or even A5 sizes, which is different from my journal. I like having more space to write, but when it comes to drawing, I like it small. And what's great with Muji books is that they're also very cheap. I never felt too precious with my pages, and it's definitely helped me loosening up more. The way I went about it was first deciding what kind of tools to use, limiting it to one pen plus a few colors, because I knew I would be more consistent with my pages that way, not having to think before drawing. I'd already have everything at my reach. The pen I used is a simple Muji 0.5 pen in a brown color. I feel like it's a bit softer than pure black for lines. And if I were to continue in another book, I might even switch to a blue or purple. As for colors, I quickly settled on colored pencils because the pages are really thin and the surface is quite smooth. I believe it's recycled paper, and the only other tools I have for color are markers or watercolor paint, which wouldn't work so well in that kind of sketchbook. So after I had all my materials ready, I just went for it and drew my first page, which you're seeing right now. And for this video, I wanted to share some life moments from this past month, as well as the page from my sketchbook that corresponds to that day, if that makes sense. It was such a fun thing to try, and it's really helped me finding a new and exciting way to be creative this February. I hope you like the concept of the video. Feel free to put a little thumbs up while you're watching, and I'll chat a bit more with you later. Hello again. I thought I could take some time to chat a bit more with you about how the month has been going and what's been on my mind lately. I feel like the past weeks were quite a mix of emotions and thoughts. Maybe it feels that way because of the really unstable weather. The sky kind of reflects my mood at the moment. But anyways, I've been trying to motivate myself staying active in different areas of my life, and honestly, I will say that this is what keeps me in a good mood every day, or kind of. I did take small steps towards drawing again. Well, first with the sketchbook you're seeing, but also by taking out my drawing tablet and practicing digital painting with some studies. Since I graduated last May, it's been hard to get back to it, especially after such a busy and hyper-productive last year of school. My brain kind of shut down, and actually, I feel like journaling is what helped me getting back to that mindset of creating last September, without any high stakes or too much pressure. And I love how it's constantly changing and how journaling can inspire one to draw again and vice versa. Music also really helps. I guess any type of art making does. I love singing and dancing for myself. I've been trying to learn some short choreographies on my own, which feels so nice to the body and the mind. Which brings me to another area of my life that I've been investing more time in, and that is physical health. Up until recently, I never truly thought about it. My priorities were concentrated on filmmaking, art making, school, and friends, which was already a lot. However, in the past weeks, I've been more curious about it. What benefits do exercise, running, and dancing bring to your body? How it affects your mental state as well, and how to incorporate those activities in your everyday life. Honestly, I never thought I would say this out loud, but I kind of love it. I've never been a sporty person, so I do know my limits and I try taking it easy, not judging myself during the process. And I do realize that I am lucky enough to have some free time to initiate that, which I'm truly grateful for, and I want to make the best of it. I know that it won't be like that forever, but at that moment, I'm just taking it day by day, and that's been doing wonders for my mental health, I think. Is there an activity you started recently that makes you feel the same? I think it's nice to see how we're all dealing with stress and unstable periods of time, and hopefully inspire each other to maybe discover a new skill that we never thought we would ever try. So, yeah, leave a little comment telling us more about that, if you're comfortable sharing, of course. Okay, I will leave you to the video now. Talk to you at the end. This is one of the last page I made this week, and one of the challenges that came up with the sketchbook journal was coming up with different ways to tell the same story. For instance, I made the same veggie soup 3 times this past month, but I didn't want to draw the same thing because it's not super interesting. So for the first time, I drew the raw ingredients, the second time I drew the bowl of soup, and the third time I drew the cutting board with chopped veggies on top. It's a small detail, but it's been fun to experiment in that sense. Same goes with going on a run. How can I represent that thing differently every time? Having lunch, watching YouTube, catching up on some pages. And sometimes I realized that it pushed me to just get out and do other things. When realizing that the past 3 days have been pretty similar, just me staying home, for example, it's giving me an excuse to organize a cafe date with people, or just going on a walk somewhere new. It was overall a great learning experience about how I spend my time, slowly getting back to drawing as well. And I think for now, the sketchbook journal format is something that I want to keep doing. This video is a bit different from the more traditional journal content that I made since I started, and I was a bit worried at some point that it would be too far from the journaling niche with too much vlogging and drawing. I personally like the new direction it's taking, having something a bit more hybrid, and I hope you enjoy that as well. So, thank you for watching all the way through. I hope you have a wonderful rest of February. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and I'll be happy to see you in the next one. Bye!